Yo, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. How's it going? How are you doing? It's your dog, Toddy, checking in with a real quick light stream. I said light stream, live stream. I don't intend to be here very long. I know it's Saturday. You got things you much rather do to sit here listen to me talk about the Atlanta Falcons. But welcome. Thanks for being here. Let's get the commercials out of the way before we get to the business. Those of you that are watching, wherever you're watching at, please do your dog a favor. Hit that like button for your dog, especially the YouTube crew. As we always talk about the algorithm. And also hit that like button for your dog. You know what I'm saying? Even if you don't intend to be here very long, even if you just put on your shoes and you listen before you hop in the car, you know what I'm saying? Just hit the like button for your dog. You know what I'm saying? Facebook crew, ABG in the building. What's up with y'all? Do your dog a huge favor, man. Hit that like button for your dog. Hit that like button for your dog. Y'all know how these algorithms work, you know? So thank you in advance. Thank you in advance. Thank you in advance. So let's see who's checking in already before we get to the business. My brother John Brooks is in the building. Y'all make sure YouTube click on John's profile. Make sure to subscribe and run up the comments. Also, what's up, John? Always showing love, man. I hope you're doing good today. John said, "Let's go Falcons." Heard that before checking in. Said, "What's up? What's up? What's happening? All you haters can get at man. What's going on? Heard that before. How you doing today, bro? Um, yeah, heard that before. Appreciate you, man. Thank you very much. Heard that before. Said I hit that like button. YouTube peeps, do your dog a favor. Hit that like button. Facebook peeps, do your dog a favor. Hit that like button. Hit that like button, man. I do really, really appreciate that. Let's see who else we got. Next month, football season. Yeah, I was reading somebody Facebook status actually earlier today. Did not realize this, but this is the last month until March 2024 that we don't have any football. So we right here on the brink. You know what I'm saying? It started to smell a little bit like football season outside also. So I really can't wait. Really, 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 really can't wait. I got my bro David Starks in the building. What's up with you, David? How's it going today, brother? Let's see. Heard that before. So yo, tired of ultimate don't work out. You're trying to be the next head coach. If they'll have me, I'll definitely take the job, man. Cause trust me, I could take an additional $2 to $3 million a year. You know what I'm saying? Actually, they can get me about 800K, bro. I'm good with that. But yeah, I would definitely take the job. Uh, so I said, rather have you as a head coach. Hey man, well, if Arthur Smith don't work out, man, let's get a petition together, man, and see if we can get me up there in Flowery Branch, man. Norman Fitzgerald in the building is tied at 478. Stand up, 478 in the building. What's happening, Middle Georgia? Armani checking in. Says Tidy, what's up, fam? What's up with you, Armani? How you doing today, bro? I got my bro Kelly Stinson in the building. What's up with you, Kelly? How's it going today? Heard of folks that tied for head coach. I got Mills 1967 in the building. Mills, I ain't seen you in a minute, bro. Where you been? You must have been busy. I ain't seen you in a minute. Glad you're here. Glad you're here. Armani says best time of the year football coming. Holidays coming. Looking forward to it myself as well. Um, Facebook user, I got the notification to instantly join the live. What's up, Tyler? What's up, Facebook user? How you doing? Thank you for being here. Dude, very much appreciated. Thanks a lot. Facebook user says, hell yeah, I would change something. I would have drafted tight end who don't block. Uh-oh. Facebook user says, I came to bang. He done came in here banging. Don't like contact and runs half ass hearted. Who is that banging on Facebook like that? That joker came in here banging. Who is that? That joker came in here banging. My boy Winston Thorne is in the building. What's up with you, G? How you doing, man? I got Larry from the Dixon Way in the building. Says, what's up, Ty? The Saints fans hate our guts. Yes, they do. Now, you're right about that. In proper context, I got to give you that one. Y'all also, YouTube people, do your dog a favor, man. Click on the Dixon Ways profile. Make sure to subscribe to their channel. Run them comments up. Some of the best in-game commentary that you're gonna find. Braves, Hawks, Bulldogs. So show them some love. To do a lot of great hard work over there. So what's up with you, Larry? Um, let's see. Heard it before. What's up, Dixon Way? Well, you okay? So yeah, you already know about my guy Larry over there. What's good, bro? What's your thoughts on training camp coming up? You think we signed anyone else? My thoughts on training camp coming up, man. I'm looking forward to it, man. I can't wait. Cause whenever training camp get here, that just let me know, man. Hey, man, football right around the corner. So looking forward to training camp, man, and hearing all the news coming out of training camp, as I do every year. Um, you think we signing anyone else? Yeah, I think we will. I don't think there'll be any more real like significant, name brand type of signings, but I think they'll be adding more camp bodies and things of that nature to the roster. Um, oh, that's Rusty. I should have knew that somebody like Rusty. Says Rusty going in the unit. I got to hit the StreamYard link again. Yeah, I think sometimes with StreamYard, like maybe every 2, 3, maybe every 90 days, they make you hit that link again to recertify yourself and give you permissions and stuff like that. Heard that before. So tight Atlanta Falcons should sign you as a wide receiver. No, they should not. No, they should not. I want us to win. You signed me to get on anybody football team. You're not trying to win. Trust me on that one. Trust me on that one. If you trying to sign me on anybody football, even a college team, even high school, those days of me playing football are way over. Way over. So you cannot sign me to play no kind of contact football. No way, no way. No. Maybe a good strong 20, 25 years ago, maybe so. But no sirree. Not now. Ron Thomas is in the building. What's up with you, Ron? How you doing? How's it going? Commercial time. Y'all do your boy a favor. Welcome in. I'm glad you're here on Saturday, man. We're gonna talk a little SHIT real quick, like we always do. I promise I'm not gonna keep you long. Today it is Saturday afternoon, so we already know how that go. You know what I'm saying? But do your dog a favor. Facebook peace. Hey, hit that like button for your dog, man. Hit that like button for your dog. YouTube people, I really need y'all to show me a lot of love on YouTube. Try to get the channel growing. We got the season coming up soon. So hit that like button for your dog on YouTube, man. That gets me in the algorithm, you know what I'm saying? Get the video suggested to bigger markets. So do your dog a big favor, run them likes up for me, please. Thank you very much. Dixon Ways of Training Camp is here. 2 weeks. Me and the family will be in there live streaming, talking to the people. Can't wait, Larry, man. Can't wait. I'm gonna try to make it up there at least one time, and hopefully I'll meet you when I get there. This market got to join the live at some point today. My fam still talking about your last live. I gotta redeem myself. What did they say, Mark? What did they say when you say redeem yourself, man? You know what I'm saying? I know the people in the comments was giving you hell. They say you had got drunk and got lit. Hey, but man, and make sure you share this live with them also, Mark. You know what I'm saying? And thank you for joining. I do really appreciate it. JJ Ayers, mic check, 1 2 1 2. What's good? What's going on with you? JJ Ayers in the building today. Says, what's good, ABG? What's going on with you, JJ? How's it going, man? How's it going? Dixon Way says, I can't wait to see our team firsthand, myself as well. Hey, so let's get to the business, man. Thank you, everybody, for joining in. Heard that before, said Atlanta Falcons look scary on both sides. So let's get to the business. Man, nobody hates the Falcons, man. Don't nobody hate the Falcons. But like somebody else said, like New Orleans people, we can't stand each other. It's been like that since before I got here. But when I say that, I'm talking. The reason I say that is because sometimes you like, especially this time of the year, you run into some commentary or and let me start off by saying this. I was watching my old Uncle Steve, you know what I'm saying? Y'all know Steve been here for centuries. But I was watching my old Uncle Steve yesterday. He had a great show on. I was listening, and then I eventually got home and I started watching. But every year, Steve, as he mentioned, if you didn't catch his show, go back and watch the replay. But Steve, every year he buys like the magazines that talks about the NFL teams and roster. It gives predictions and records and things of that nature. And they didn't have anything. They were not saying like the Falcons are gonna go like 13-4, 12-5. We're gonna win the division. We're gonna win the conference. We're Super Bowl contenders. They were given their predictions and their analysis on us as they saw us from an unbiased eye. And I appreciate when Steve do that show every year. I appreciate him doing that because it takes us out of Atlanta Falcons biased fan eye viewpoints, and it lets us know, okay, what does the national media think about y'all? The people that write, and they just don't have that bias that the Falcons fans have. Because I was born a Falcons fan, so I got some bias in me, obviously. You know what I'm saying? Steve been a Falcons fan all his life. He has bias in it. You know, um, and typically any content creator that covers the Atlanta Falcons is going to have bias in them. The content creators who cover the Saints and the Panthers and the Bucks and the Raiders, it's all biased. So I always like to step outside of Falcons land and see what others think about us who are not, totally biased. And then on the flip side, a lot of times, anytime we talk about New Orleans, we're gonna try to downplay them because we don't like them. You know what I'm saying? We're not gonna try to we're gonna go out. We're gonna do our very best not to give them any credit, any props, because we just don't like New Orleans. Period. Can't stand them MFers. And they don't like Atlanta. They don't like Atlanta. Same thing, Carolina. That's just how it goes. That's how the football stuff goes. But again, I appreciate when Steve do shows like that because we get unbiased opinion and analysis. And I've been saying this for a while now, but I kind of had to teach myself how to start analyzing my team and not be a Falcons fan when I analyze my team. Like sometimes when people tell me like you be a little too hard on the team, you be a little too critical on the team, I be trying to be fair. I be trying to be fair. I try to be as unbiased as I possibly can, especially now that I be doing content creation. You know, I don't want people to be, oh man, he's just a fanboy. He don't keep it real, you know. And some may love that, some may hate that. Some may say, man, I ain't watching the Atlanta Bird game. That tired of me. He be too hard on the team, you know. Some may love that, some may hate that. But the reason I eventually got like that, because trust me, y'all, I used to be like the biggest fanboy in the world. I still am at times, you know what I'm saying? I'm still a Falcon fan. I still my team. I still love them. But I had to teach myself how to analyze this team and not be a Falcons fan. You know, is the defensive line really good? Is the offensive line really good? Do we really got good coaches? I had to teach myself how to have those conversations with myself when I talk about the team. So a lot of times, when y'all watch me or you hear me say things or you might hear me type things, it be from the point of view like if we were sitting right here playing the Xbox, me and you good friends, we boys, we could be even be cousins. You know what I'm saying? We good friends. We talk about everything. So we sit here playing the Xbox or whatever. We on 2K a man, and we just start talking about the Falcons. I be trying to have that. That's the kind of conversation and analysis I be trying to have. Like we ain't even online, even though we online. Real, like what would we say if we was outside shooting basketball at the park? What the conversation would be if we start, man, what you think the Falcons gonna do this year, bro? What you think about Ritter? You really think that Bijan pick was a good pick? I'm saying, how many more years a good play you think Grady Jarrett got in? That's the kind of conversations I'll be trying to have when I talk about them. When I go live and I talk about them. When I be in ABG and I be making posts in the group, that's where I be coming from. Like if me and you are face to face, we're not on the internet, where there's a lot of cameras and tricks now, if you know what I mean. Or me and you, we going to shoot some pool and drink a few beers, man. You know what I'm saying? Oh, shoot, man, I ain't got nothing to do. You want to go down to the pool hall? Shoot, yeah. All right, well, I'll pay for the pool. You pay for the bill. All right, cool. Let's go. Just a regular conversation. We might start talking about some females while we there. And we may eventually start talking about the Falcons. Just regular conversation. So that's where I be trying to be at when I talk about the Falcons. Just like we having a regular conversation. Not internet, even though it is the internet, but that's the frame of mind I be trying to put my analysis at. How good is your team really? You know what I'm saying? Now, when I'm going back and forth with Saints fans, I'm cool with a lot of Saints fans. Yeah, I'm gonna big us up in front of the Saints fans. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm gonna cap us up when I be going back and forth trolling some of my Saints homeboys. I'm gonna cap us up and I'm gonna cap them down. It's just how I go. I'm gonna tell my Saints homeboy man, your team trash, y'all. That old treacherous ass franchise, that old bounty super rain y'all done rigged up and got. They felt sorry. I'm gonna cap them down. I'm gonna cap us up. But when I'm talking to the family, y'all Falcons fans, okay, it's gonna be a little more intimate. So hey, let's take out the Falcons shades. Let's have a real conversation about the team. I say that to say this, like a lot of times I'll see people say, well, they just hating on the Falcons. They just don't like us. They just hating on the Falcons. They always hating on us. Who is hating on us? Who? You think USA Today hates on the Falcons? Or do they just don't respect us? Or we not have just, or rather I should say, we hadn't done enough to earn anybody's respect. Historically or recently. You really think ESPN go out their way to hate on the Falcons? Really? Why? Well, I mean, who? They just don't. We ain't done enough to get their respect. All these big media publications that cover sports, especially NFL, because NFL is the #1 sport in America. Y'all really think they go out their way to hate on the Falcons? No. We have not done enough to be respected. We have not done enough as a franchise to get the benefit of the doubt. So a lot of times when you see some teams and they always are shining a bright light on this team, and we think they might be giving the team too much credit going into the regular season. Well, the last 10, 15 years, that team been in the playoffs 8 or 9 times. So that team has shown consistently, like, look, even on our bad years, we can find a way to sneak into the playoffs. So that's why you see that sometimes. But don't nobody hate the Falcons. Honestly, I really think these big media publications and a lot of these big companies want the Falcons to finally be good or be great consistently. Because you know why? Because it's good for business. The Falcons being a great team for a consistent amount of time in modern times, maybe not in the 60s and the 70s, but in modern times, it's good for business. Atlanta. Who wouldn't want to cover Atlanta? The city where most everybody want to try to move to a vacation or get to or have a house here or have a business here. Atlanta, Georgia in 20. Atlanta's good for business. Braves winning the World Series, that shit was good for business. Georgia Bulldog back to back, even though that's technically ain't Atlanta, but hey, we're going to group them all in one just for this point. But that's good for business. Atlanta United coming in, basically a special team. That's good for business. So they want Atlanta to get there. They want to prop us up. They want to send more Super Bowls to Mercedes-Benz Stadium. You know, you don't think these people would want to come to the NFC Championship game and cover the Falcons at home? That's good for business. They want the Falcons to finally get there. That is good for business. So I that's just like, but that's our fan bias. Always thinking like, oh, they just hate on Atlanta. They just hate on the Falcons. No, they just don't respect us. This is the difference. They just don't respect us. Man, why they always had the Packers like the Packers ain't won but one Super Bowl. Well, the Packers always find a way to get in the playoffs though. Man, they be overrated Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers ain't all that. Aaron Rodgers always find a way to get in the playoffs. Man, Aaron Rodgers ain't won but one Super Bowl. Blah, 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 blah. He been in like 4, 5, 6 NFC Championship games. That's why. Man, Tom Brady, man, they always be on Tom Brady job. They always in the playoffs. Man, they always be talking bad about the Falcons. They don't respect us. They hate on the Falcons. Y'all don't ever make the playoffs. It's just that simple. It's just that simple. So I don't think these publications or these talking heads or these analysts, I don't think they go out their way to really hate on Atlanta. I'm sure there's one or two, like some of those guys who used to play for New Orleans. Okay, we get that. That's expected. Just like if Roddy White was ever a commentator, he gonna go out his way to prop up Atlanta. Y'all know how that go. I'm not talking about that. Well, so and so they always be hating on the Falcons. Well, if you were a Falcons fan, you probably shit on the Falcons a lot too, because they haven't proved nothing. They don't win. We don't win. So who's gonna give us the benefit of the doubt? If we had a winning season in 5 years, our own stadium, how much the bids cost y'all? Like 1.5 billion? I think it was like 500 million over budget. I think it's 1.4, 1.5 billion. We 21-27 all time at home in our stadium. 21-27. Ain't nobody always hating on us. Like, y'all don't win. We would love to talk great about y'all, Atlanta. I mean, it's Atlanta. It's Atlanta. The Hollywood of the South. It's Atlanta. But y'all don't win. 2 winning seasons out of 10 years. Who's really going to give you the benefit of the doubt? You don't win. They ain't hating on us. They just like, man, y'all start winning, then talk to us. Start winning. Like, they'll be like, okay, well, what have y'all done, Atlanta? Y'all been to a Super Bowl recently? Yeah, we went to a Super Bowl not too long ago. Well, what happened? Well, we all know what happened. Well, okay. When last time y'all been to the playoffs, Atlanta? 2017. What happened? Oh, you had first and goal at the 4, and you couldn't win. You had first and goal at the 4 against Philly. You couldn't get 4 yards on 4 tries. That's we hadn't earned our keep yet to be talked about with the rest of the big dogs in the league. Oh man, they always talking about Andy Reid and the Chiefs, man. They always in the playoffs, man. They always either win in the Super Bowl. Well, I ain't gonna, y'all know I'm exaggerating when I say always, figure of speech. But they always either win in the Super Bowl or they damn coming close to it. These last 5, 6 years. So yeah, they talk good about the Chiefs. So Nobody hates Atlanta. Nobody hates Atlanta. We just have not proven ourselves to get the respect of the national pundits and the national media. Man, Vegas always hating on Atlanta. How Vegas gonna say we're gonna have a losing record? Well, go look at the past few. Go look at the last 10 years. That's why. And I can't believe Vegas didn't have us winning but 4.5 games last year. Well, man, I can't believe Vegas say we ain't gonna win but 8.5 games this year. Well, yeah, prove them wrong. To get everybody on your side. As much as we hate New Orleans, they at least changed the narrative of their franchise. They should treat New Orleans way worse than us. But you know what happened? New Orleans got him coach. They got him a legendary quarterback, and they started fucking winning consistently. And now every year in the offseason, these publications of New Orleans going to probably win more games than Atlanta. And we Falcons fans, so we get upset about it, but go look at the records the last 10, 15, 20 years. Tell me what you find. Tell me what you find. Tell me what you find. So the Falcons have to change that narrative. We got to change that narrative. This franchise has to change that narrative. That's the only way it's going to get changed. We got to change that narrative as a franchise. We got to start winning. You see how the Braves, the respect the Braves get in the national media now? Who changed that? Who changed that? The Braves changed that. They just going out there and they winning. When you win it, everybody want to talk about you then. And I always say this, man. I remember when I was a kid, the Braves were at the wait and I see Lisa in the building. What's up, Lisa? And I'm sure somebody like Lisa can attest to this. Somebody that's from the city of Atlanta, somebody that has followed all the sports team, I'm sure, essentially all her life. But I remember there was a time in history when the Braves were way under the Falcons when it came to the totem pole. Yeah, the Braves used to be like that's a super running joke. Like, I know people say this in a side cliche, but you could not give away Braves tickets. Like you almost get laughed at for going to watch the Braves. You really gonna waste your time to watch the Braves? You ain't got no life. But the Braves, the 90s, the Braves figured it out. And now, Braves like some of the best things smoking in sports. Everybody like to talk about the Braves. People love going to Braves games now. Braves. The Braves did that. Started winning World Series. Granted, we should have got more than one in the 90s, but we got one. And then they came back 2021 and got another one. And now they playing now like they about to go get another one. The Braves changed that. So that's up to Atlanta. We got to change that. Nobody hate Atlanta, man. But we hadn't earned that yet. They just don't respect us. You got to earn respect. Ain't nobody gonna give you no respect. So they don't hate the Falcons, man. We got to go out there and we got to take ours. And until we do, it's gonna be the same thing every off season. Every single off season. And I'm gonna actually speaking of that, PFF, who has really become like the I would probably say the statistical figurehead for the NFL, right? They recently did a greatest, not I shouldn't say greatest, but rosters, the best rosters in the league. And if you haven't seen it yet, does anybody want to take a guess? And my bad for not reading the chat, y'all. I'm sorry, but I'm looking now. Y'all know how I get when I go on my rants or my mini rants. I was on a little mini rant then. But and also everybody who watching on YouTube and also Facebook, man, do me a real big favor, please, and hit the like button. It really helps the video get in the Facebook algorithm. Thank you in advance. But I'm reading the chat right now. I'm looking at the chat. Out of 32 teams, y'all want to know where PFF has the Falcons ranked as far as the top rosters of the league? Anybody want to take a guess? And I'll wait just a moment to see if anybody type it. Y'all want to see y'all want to know where they have the Falcons ranked for best rosters in the league? Travis says one thing the Falcons need to stop having these non-Falcons fans trying to be spokespeople for us, like Rotimi and Big Tigger. What's up, Travis? Says I'm going to say for this is, man, my bad. I'm not even highlighting this stuff as I read it. I apologize, y'all. Heard that before. Says I'm going to forever say the Falcons will win multiple Super Bowls until it happens. It will. Y'all will forever remember me. I hope you heard that before. I definitely hope you're right. Facebook user says they have us ranked at 15. Facebook user says they got us ranked at 17. Jimmy Wayne, what's up, Jimmy? How's it going, bro? Says they have us ranked at 28. David says in the 20s. Lisa says the bottom third. Anthony Moss says 17. Winston says 22nd. My guy Wallace Smith is in the building. What's up with you, Wallace? How you doing today, bro? Says they has us 26. John bro says I'll say dead. John, you funny. Facebook user says 24. That one Falcons fan said, "What's popping, Tyler? What's happening?" That one Falcons fan, how you doing? But they actually have us. One person got it right. A lot of y'all was pretty close. But they have us as the 26th best roster in the NFL. As Lisa indicated, pretty much the bottom third. Wallace did guess it correctly. He had us 26. But they ranked us 26. They said we had the 26th best roster. And I don't think that mean they hate us. I think that's their honest analysis of the team. Let's take a look at it together, y'all. Y'all was ranked 26th. Right here, 26, Atlanta Falcons. Biggest strength in 2023, the offensive line. I don't know if anybody going to argue with that one. Our offensive line was elite last year, finally. But our offensive line, that was the heartbeat of the team last year. But they got us ranked 26th. And I'm gonna try my best not to bore y'all, but I'm gonna read this real quick. So bear with me. Atlanta fielded decisively the best run blocking unit in the NFL last season, while also carrying the 8th best pass rushing blocking grade as a team. Chris Lindstrom was the best guard in the NFL in 2022, and retaining Caleb McGarry at right tackle is a huge plus. Jake Matthews is still a very good pass protector on the left side. Man, Jake Matthews is so underrated. And Matthew Bergeron was added this year in the second round to potentially start at left guard. Bijan Robinson should excel early behind this group. Now, I don't think none of us are surprised that they're talking about offensive line being pretty much the big dogs of the team. I don't think nobody is surprised by that. Nobody. John Harris says, again, have the Falcons been good enough to hate? John, John, I've been rambling for like 20 minutes, but that's John, thank you, John. We never been good enough to be hated on. The teams that are typically consistently great are that's normally who get hated on. After so long, you just got tired of seeing the Patriots win, so you start to hate on them. But back in the 80s and the 90s, when the Patriots was like the Falcons and they didn't have no Super Bowls, didn't nobody care about the Patriots. But once they got great and they started winning, okay, I'm tired of you, Memphis. You know what I'm saying? Then the hate came. So John makes a excellent point. Have the Falcons been good enough to get good enough to have hate? No, we haven't. They just don't respect us, and that's the difference. There's no respect there for the team, for the franchise. Like, oh, that's the Falcons. They'll find a way to mess it up, and we always find a way to mess it up. Unfortunately for us, we always find a way to mess it up. D Sloan says, so do you think Ritter being rated 40 is not hating? No, I don't, D Sloan. I don't think it's hating at all. I don't think it's hating at all, D. I really don't. Could he have been ranked 33rd, 34th, 35th? Possibly, yeah. But I don't think it's hate. I just think, like, outside looking in, like, what is Ritter doing? What has he done? What is he? Some of y'all might not, some of you may notice already, some of you may not. But Desmond Ridder is yet to be the starting quarterback in the NFL. I'll repeat that. Desmond Ridder has not been a starting quarterback in the NFL yet. Desmond Ridder hasn't beaten a starting quarterback yet in the NFL. I know some people say, what about Tom Brady? I'm not going to even take that. I'm talking about one that played all 4 quarters, from start to finish. I know on paper that'll be like, yeah, the Tom Brady lost the game. No, but y'all know what I mean. He ain't beat one yet. So let's continue reading. It says biggest weaknesses in 2023, and this actually correlates with D's statement that he just made. Biggest weakness in 2023, quarterbacks. The Falcons defense was poor last season, but they at least poured resources into it this offseason. It's tough to believe much in Desmond Ridder and Taylor Heineke at quarterback, though whoever starts likely won't be expected to throw more than 25 times per game. They need to be efficient in play action game and limit turnovers to allow the run game to shine. So PFF is saying right here, like we don't really have any big expectations for Desmond Ridder. What has he done so far? Like Ridder, even though he played 4 games last year, he still don't have really no real experience. It took one of the best quarterback talents that we've seen probably within the last 20 years or so, Trevor Lawrence. It took him a full season to come into his game. Trevor Lawrence did not play well as a rookie. And that was for 17 games, I think Trevor played. Ridder only has a quarter of that under his resume. So these teams, the people who cover football or cover the Falcons that are not Falcons fans, this is the stuff they see and they analyze and they know. We as Falcons fans, we just think, well, Ridder played these last 2 games and he was pretty good. Well, you played a Tampa team that didn't really care about winning, and that was the second half of that Tampa game when they pulled out all their starters for the very most part. That was Ridder's best 2 quarters of his career thus far. You were playing like backups, So the other people who don't have the Falcons bias that we have is like, y'all really think you can trust Desmond Ridder to come here and throw it 30 plus times a game for 4,200 yards and 30, 31, 32 touchdowns and single digit interceptions? We hope Desmond Ridder come in and ball out, but we don't know. We hoping he do. But the most important position on the field is probably our biggest question mark. The most important position on the field is probably our biggest question mark is quarterback. So we are hoping he does, but and I told this to Steve yesterday. I said the best quarterback on the team might be the backup. The best quarterback on the team might be the backup. That remains to be seen. And that's what people who cover the team they looking at that. They looking at like bro, like it took Desmond Ridder almost 4 whole games to throw a touchdown. Granted, he didn't throw any interceptions, but it took him almost 4 quarters, and that came against Tampa. And again, a game that they didn't care about winning. They didn't care. Go back and watch the game. When Tampa had their starters in, Desmond Ridder had 25 passing yards at halftime. I kid you not. When Tampa starters was in, Ridder had 25 passing yards at halftime. 1 TD and 1 turnover. So that's the stuff we got to keep in perspective, man. We are hoping that Ridder comes involved, but it's not no given, y'all. This the NFL. It's not a given. We got a big question mark at quarterback. We got a huge question mark at quarterback. A huge question mark. Wallace says they don't hate us. It's just we haven't won consistently enough in the last 5 years or so. Until we start winning, that is what we're going to get until we prove them wrong. Yes, sir, Wallace. That's exactly what it is. Like you gotta do your part as a franchise. They just gonna look at us as a franchise that they just can't get it together. They just can't get it together. But when you start winning consistently, okay, yeah. Then you'll get that respect. Then they'll start giving you the benefit of the doubt. When you make the playoffs 4 out of the last 5 years, when you start exceeding expectations, they'll start giving you the benefit of the doubt. But we hadn't really put that together as of yet. Let's go back to the article real quick. It says here the X factor for 2023 is tight end Kyle Pitts. It says Pitts' production dropped off a cliff last season. He has the potential to be the best tight end in the league and needs to be a legitimate threat for the Falcons to succeed. Drake London is the only returning player on the team who posted more than 400 receiving yards last season. Pitts has to be at least the second best option in order for the Falcons to overcome their shaky quarterback situation. So once again, we're talking about the quarterback situation. They mentioned the quarterback again. It says rookie to watch Bijan Robinson. That is no surprise to anybody. Robinson should be the early favorite to win Rookie of the Year. He's the most talented back to come out of the draft in the past decade and is running behind the NFL's premier offensive line. A rushing title is not out of the question for Robinson's first year. Oh, now that would be super impressive. If you win a rushing title as a rookie, boy, that would be good. And finally, it says here, over-under prediction, 8.5 win total under. Ooh, they said we're gonna win under 8.5 games. Okay, it's hard to give the Falcons a winning record with Desmond Ridder and Taylor Heinicke as their quarterbacks. Y'all see one common theme here in every single paragraph. It goes back to the quarterback position. That's how important that position is in the NFL, the quarterback position. But I'm sorry, let me start over. It's hard to get the Falcons a winning record with Desmond Ridder and Taylor Heinicke as their quarterbacks. Even so, the NFC South may see an under 500 division winner again. Bijan Robinson fits in perfectly behind Atlanta's offensive line, and Arthur Smith is an excellent play caller. With that in mind, the Falcons feel like a 7-win team that could come out on top in a couple that could come out on top in a couple more games if their quarterbacks overachieve. So they're basically saying, hey, y'all will win about 7 games this year, Atlanta. And saying y'all will win about 7 games this year, Atlanta. And all based around that quarterback position, man. All based around the quarterback position. Winston's hair Ritter hasn't even faced a starting quarterback yet. True. Brady played 2 series, so that doesn't count. He's never played against an offense that was at full strength and humming alone that he has to equal. Very true. And that's why I said what I said too, bro. I like he ain't be a starting quarterback yet. So we got a lot of question marks at the most important position, y'all. So that's why like these people ain't jumping rope and doing double dutches to say we're gonna win 10, 11, 12 games. Like we don't even know if y'all got a real quarterback in Atlanta yet. But yeah, y'all done did some good stuff with your cap space. You know, we like Bijan. Don't get it twisted. It might have been a questionable to take him at 8, but we like Bijan. We think Bijan gonna be a dog. But you know what? This ain't 1994, Jack. Running backs can't just do it like they did back then. This is a quarterback league. You need some good quarterback play in this league now in 2023. And we don't know if y'all got that yet. We don't know if we y'all got that in Atlanta yet. So we got to see. And on top of that, y'all are the Falcons. It ain't like we talking about Green Bay and Jordan Love. You know, Green Bay has shown over decades upon decades upon decades that they can figure it out and win games. Atlanta, y'all don't have that on y'all resume. Y'all are still the Falcons. Wallace says, I think it's the talent you place around the quarterback to see how good they can be. The talent you place around them is very important also. But I think having a talented quarterback is a bigger piece of the equation to long-term success. You know, I think with the right talent, you can hide the quarterback's flaws for a limited amount of time in the NFL before those talented defenses and those smart coordinators and coaches eventually scheme and expose that quarterback. But when you have a uber talented quarterback and you have some okay talent around him, even in that situation, you can win in the NFL. You can win. And I'll go back and I'll use Aaron Rodgers again. Aaron Rodgers didn't always have the most talented teams, but he always found a way to get them in the playoffs, to make deep run in the playoffs. Now, you get to the NFC Championship game, and a lot of times, you know, not having similar talent around him would eventually be their own doing. But as long as you're in the playoffs, you got a chance. The Giants showed us that 2011. The Ravens showed us that the last time they won. You just got to get into the tournament. As long as you get into that tournament, you do have a chance to win it. Facebook says whether pro or con, nobody knows. It's all speculation. How about we let the season play out and find out? That's what we really don't have a choice. You know? Of course, it's speculation. You know, us being on this live stream, we're all speculating. It's all opinion. You know, that's why we have platforms like this, so we can speculate and share our opinions and our thoughts and our viewpoints. That's the beautiful thing about modern technology. Like what 25, 30 years ago, we couldn't do stuff like this. You just have to be just like you say, let the season play out. But that's the beautiful thing about these laptops, these microphones, these smartphones. You can get up here and you can pop your shit. You know what I'm saying? You can share your opinion. And that's the world we live in now. Everybody has an opinion. So if you want everybody just to be mute and shut up and don't say nothing and let the season play out, you're gonna have to go and maybe holler at Elon Musk and get him to build you a time machine and go back to 1982 and 83 and 84 and 85 when you couldn't get on the internet and share your opinion. So good luck with that if that's the world you want us to go back to. David Starr says, and we're not expecting him to do that from who we drafted in the first round. Winston says, I've said it since we signed Heineke. If there is an open competition, then Ritter will lose to him. Oh, man. So that's interesting. Lee says, how many games we give Ritter to show us what he has? 6 before we move on to Heineke. That's a great question. I would like to see him get at least 6 games and hopefully at least 8 games. I think you want to probably give him at least 6 at a minimum, preferably 8, because that once you're at 8, you're around about half the season. The only way I think they make a move before then is like we'd have to start off like 0-4, and Ritter's obviously struggling badly. Because at that point, then you force Arthur Smith's hand, and he got to make a change. He would have to make a change, like 1-5 or 2-6, something like that. But otherwise, I think 6 to 8 games. I think that's a good amount of time. But he won't have a real long leash, and that's one of the drawbacks of being a 3rd round pick is you won't have a long leash. Like a 1st round QB, they'll try to give you they'll try their very, very, very best to give you the longest leash that they can when you're a 1st round pick. One, because they think you have the talent already because they drafted you in the 1st round. They feel like they can coach you up to get where they want you to be. 2, you're a 1st round pick, so they invested a lot into you. 1st round draft picks in the NFL, like that's gold. That's prime real estate. There's really nothing better than that. So they don't want to give up on their investment too fast. 3rd round, you don't have that same type of investment in place. So I don't think they hate us, guys. That's just my opinion on that. That was my little rant on that because I see it so much this time of year. And until we start winning, that's just how it's gonna be, y'all. We control that narrative. Atlanta controls that narrative at the end of the day. D says whether Ritter played backups or starter, each team still got to show up and play. Look how he ran Brady out the stadium. What are you talking about, D? Who ran Brady out the stadium? You gotta explain what you're saying there. Let me read it again. Maybe I missed something. Whether Ritter played backups or started, each team still got to show up and play. Look how he ran Brady out the stadium. I think I know what you're saying. Yeah, they got to show up and play, but that mentality that's a Falcons fans mentality because we're so used to losing and being bad. Well, we'll take any win we can get. I mean, anybody that could be a little bit objective, you have to admit, like, okay, you beat Arizona without their quarterback, and then you beat Tampa Bay, who didn't play but 1/2 football with y'all. And and outside of Tampa Bay, none of y'all going to the playoffs. So y'all really was playing meaningless football. And as Falcons fans, that a lot of times that's where our mentality is at because we just so used to the last 2 games of the season. Well, we out the playoffs anyway. Well, let's just try to win. Normally, the last 2 games of the year, and this is just where we at as a franchise, y'all. The last 2 games of the season, it typically is always the same conversation for the Falcons. Do we tank? This be the conversation in our fan base, and if I'm lying, I'm flying. Somebody call me a lie if I start lying right here. This is the conversation. Y'all know I ain't BSing. Well, do we tank or do we try to win? Should we try to win or should we tank? Then it'd be the debate on should we tank. Man, if we tank, but we can go and get so and so, but at the third or fourth pick, we don't need to win. No, man, bump that. We need momentum, win. We don't need to tank. We need to win. So you got people over here saying tank. You got people over here saying win, so we can have momentum. That's where we be at in week 15 and week 16 and week 17. We be going back and forth about should we win or should we tank because we're not going to the playoffs. A winning a fan base who's used to winning, they're not having this conversation. So, like D, when I see a statement such as yours, like where they're playoffs or starters, that's just what we're accustomed to. We're accustomed to these last 2, 3, 4 weeks not even meaning much to us, other than where we're gonna draft at. Because by that time, we talking about the draft already. We doing our mocks and everything. That's just what we have been. We don't go to the playoffs. Archangel says Pitts fell off the cliff because the QB was limitless. So that's a good segue moment right there. And what's up with you, Archangel? He says he fell off the cliff because the QB was limitless. So let me ask y'all this. If we redrafted the 2021 NFL draft, would you still take Kyle Pitts? I'm very interested to know y'all's thoughts on this. If you can go back and redraft the 2021 draft, would you take Kyle Pitts, knowing what you know now? Because that was a very, just like the Bijan pick, it was kind of controversial. I think Kyle was more controversial than Bijan. But number 4 pick, first time a tight end had ever been picked at number 4. So I asked y'all, and please comment also and let me know, if you could do that again, would you take Bijan Robinson? I'm sorry. Excuse me. Would you take Kyle Pitts, y'all? Let me know your thoughts. If we were to go back to that draft, would you take him? I want to know what y'all think. Let me scroll down and see what y'all saying. Let's see here. Travis says 2021. I want my original pick, Micah Parsons. So Travis says he wouldn't take Kyle Pitts. Norman Fitzgerald says I would have took Micah. David says Justin Fields should have been the pick. It's my reason that Arthur Smith's seat should be worn. Don says my original pick was either Trey Lance or Micah Parsons. Anthony Moss says no, you had Chase and Water if you want to go offense. Yeah, you're right about that. And both of them balling. Archangel said that I'm gonna stay away from that question. Get out, Archangel. Come on, answer the questions, man. Because we did our segue with your statement. So you can't back up on us now, man. You got to answer the question, man. I'm talking about laughing my ass off. Nah, man, give us an answer. Give us an answer. Give us an answer. We need you. Would you take Kyle Pitts? Let's go back and look at that draft. And y'all continue to answer that question for me also. You know, keep the comments going. Lisa said I wouldn't have drafted Pitts in 2021. Lisa, you know how much I complained and whined about that pick, man. I didn't think that was a good thing for us to do at that point in time, based on where the franchise was at. Those of you that are watching on YouTube, man, if you can hit that like button for me, I really, really appreciate it. Just smash that like button. Helps the video get out of the algorithm. So just hit that like button for me, man. Thank you in advance. Those of you who may watch the live stream on YouTube on the replay, make sure that you hit the like button for me as well. Larry says a tight end is never worth the 4th pick. Ooh. Mark says trade back and get Parsons or Fields. So hold on now. Y'all Y'all gotta be y'all telling me ain't not one person would take Pitts. If you could go do it all over again, you wouldn't take Pitts. Y'all gotta tell me why. Somebody gotta like the pick at this. I gotta find somebody that like the pick. All right, Angel said, I love Kyle Pitts, honestly, and I'm happy to have him, but at that time I would have grabbed Fields. To be honest. D Sloan says, you lying and flying. Lying about what, D? What am I lying about? That one Falcons fan says Fields would not have helped us. He wouldn't have no one to throw to, and he would have been running for his damn life like Matt Ryan. So that one Falcons fan, are you saying that you would have taken Kyle Pitts still knowing what you know now? I think that one. So tell us that one Falcons fan, are you saying you would have took Kyle Pitts knowing what you know now? Would you have continued to take Kyle? John Harris is knowing what I know now and knowing what I knew then. No. Facebook used to know I wanted Fields. Pitts is not mentally strong and he can't take a lot of hits. Okay, so Wallace is the only one thus far who says, yes, I still would have drafted Pitts. You got to explain us. You got to say why, though, Wallace. And you are typically excellent in explaining your viewpoints and your opinions. So please let me know why you would have taken Kyle Pitts. Thank you. Larry says, Micaiah Parsons all day and driving the flower branch. Norman Fitzgerald makes a good point. Hindsight is 2020. Good point. Valid point. Winston said Micaiah Parsons should have been the pick, in my opinion, but I saw that the wide receiver positions were they're valued at 4th. So Pitts was going to be the pick because it's the regime first pick. They wasn't trading back. Okay, so I got 2. So two people say stay with Kyle Pitts. That one Falcons fan and also Wallace. Trash Press says that much people complain about the pass rush. Why would you not take Parsons? He is a beast. Facebook says we had Ridley when we drafted Pitts. We did have old gambling Ridley. The Black Pete Rose. Now let me stop, man. Much success in the next chapter of his career to Calvin Ridley. I want him to ball out so we can get that second round pick. So good luck to you, Calvin. Dom says tight end was never a need. Dom said tight end was never a need when we drafted him. Could have gotten something in later rounds. That pick never made sense. Dom said he ain't gonna BS with y'all. It never made sense to him. Dom said it still don't make sense to him today. Davis's first man round was Washington. We needed his successor. Secondly, 4 is not good value for a tight end. Y'all coming. Marx's Fields behind Matt for a year would have been perfect. Yeah, that's what I kind of thought too at the time. That's the boat I was in, Mark. All right, Angels and Kyle Pitts is multi-talented, though, and Fields looks to run more than he passes. I gotta agree. I will say that much. Yes, really, please ball out. Please ball out. Ball out. We also had Hurst when we drafted Pitt. Yes. Mark, that's one thing I was like, man, y'all. And see, Mark, you got to dig deeper with that statement too, bro. We traded a second round pick for Hayden Hurst. A lot of people don't remember that. We traded a second round pick to get Hurst. Then we let him go in free agency to only spend a number 4 pick on another tight end when we didn't even use the one we had that much. And I know that was a different regime between 2 moves, but it was like, yo, what are we doing? Tight end makes sense if you're Arthur Smith. He loves tight ends. Well, why did he use Hayden Hurst then? If he loved tight ends so much, what happened with Hayden Hurst? You know, if he loves tight ends so much, why did he get Kyle involved in the offense last year? If he loves these tight ends so much, why didn't the unicorn get involved in the offense more last year? If he loves tight ends so much. False Start Falcon in the building. What's up, False Start? Says correction. The previous staff traded a second round pick for Hurst. Hurst is not because and I did mention that too. I did mention that was two different regimes. But still, like still had the personnel on the field. Or in the building, I should say. Exactly. Just poor value at number 4 to draft picks. That Dom says, I came to bang about Pitts. He ain't showed me nothing. But on a side note, I need that second rounder for Ridley. Bang. Dom said he ain't showed him enough to be a 4th pick out of tight end. And then we don't even use him last year. Pitts was a decoy last year and a downfield blocker. Don came here to bang on y'all today. So let's look at the first round from last year, y'all. Let's take a moment. I put it on the screen. Let's look at the first round. We're just gonna look at it from for after we drafted, because of course you had teams that was locked up in the top 3. That's the quarterbacks went earlier. But number 5, you had Jamar Chase, LSU wide receiver, drafted right out the Pitts. Miami then took Jalen Waddle from Bama. Roll Tide, as them Alabama fans roll damn Tide. Then you had Penei Sewell, Oregon, offensive tackle. J.C. Horn went to Carolina, played with South Carolina. Then you had the Bama boys come through again. Patrick Surtain II, number 9 at Denver. Then you had the guy who broke my heart in that national championship game. I want to strangle his ass. Devonta Smith went to Philadelphia. Justin Fields went to Chicago at 11. Micah Parsons went to Dallas at 12. Rashawn Slater from Northwestern went to the Chargers at 13. Again, hindsight is 2020. But everybody from 5 to 13 everybody from 5 to 13, that's a very talented draft also, by the way. 2021, these first 15 picks. But everybody from 5 to 13, man, you could have argued made more sense for Atlanta at the time. Like, I say this often, y'all, and I really think Kyle Pitts is just a fish out of water in Atlanta. I think in the right scheme, the right situation, Kyle Pitts could potentially become a Travis Kelce type of talent. But it has to be in the right scheme, the right coach. You got to have the right quarterback. And in 2021, we were just starting our phase 1 of our rebuild. Break it down and build it up. And at that point in time, and I'm not trying to throw any shots here, but if Faulkner was a great evaluator of talent, which I think he is, or I assume he is, and the same for Arthur Smith, offensive coordinator, you had to come into that season and know that like you were on borrowed time with Matt Ryan because it was evident that his skills were diminishing. He was getting older. And if you watch the film on him, you saw the arm strength. It was leaving him with every single throw. Matt Ryan threw for a shitload of yards in Atlanta. But you also know what that means? He had a shitload of attempts. I mean, it was a lot of miles on that arm. And as Arthur Smith, you kind of already had to know, like, well, Matt Ryan can't really run my offense long term based on the stuff that I like to do. So I'm gonna have to bring a new quarterback in here. I don't know, man. Maybe this year Kyle Pitts will have a phenomenal year and all this will be hogwash, but it's almost bringing Kyle Pitts into a situation set up for him to fail. Because what we do on offense, these under Arthur Smith and what he likes to do doesn't really fit Kyle Pitts' skill set. Kyle Pitts is a receiving tight end. You put him on the field to get a mismatch on defense. You're not taking him at 4 because he can block. You know, you're not taking him at 4 because he can block. And we ran the ball like 60% of the time last season. And you take him at 4 and you give him Marcus Mariota and a Matt Ryan on his very last leg. Now, if you put him in a position where the coach, quarterback, and the system is already there, yeah, he's probably going to excel big time. But we knew this was going to be some years in progress for us to get where we needed to be. So you got Kyle Pitts here, and you're really just wasting rookie years. Well, no, let me say that again. You're wasting rookie contract years. When you really need to get the most out of your player is on a rookie contract. On all of them. Quarterback, offensive line, pass rusher, tight end, run. You need to get the most out of them on rookie contracts. So we're about to enter year 3 with Kyle Pitts, and he has 3 touchdowns. And he was sold and marketed to us as this ultimate touchdown machine. And y'all ain't gonna have no more red zone problems because Kyle Pitts gonna give you 10 touchdowns a year. Okay, 3 touchdowns later. For everything some people say they didn't like about Julio, you brought that back with Kyle Pitts. A guy who could potentially get a whole lot of yards, but can't seem to get in the end zone. So I didn't understand the Kyle Pitts pick. I think in a different situation, it would have been a great pick, but not for the Falcons. You don't have a quarterback who you know can get him the ball. Arthur Smith don't even run that kind of offense to just get the peak of what he can do for you. So year 3, we have Desmond Ridder, we have Arthur Smith with two years of experience. Hopefully, Arthur Smith can show us why this pick made sense. Because even year 1, yeah, he had a lot of passing yards for receiving yards for a rookie, but still only 1 touchdown. And that was with Matt Ryan when we was throwing the ball a lot more. You still kind of scratching your head like, I see the potential, but yeah, where the touchdowns at? What are touchdowns at? Because I'm telling y'all, like, I remember what the scouting report was on Kyle Pitts. Oh man, this guy's gonna get all kind of touchdowns in Arthur Smith offense. Woo, you know what I'm saying? Matt Ryan gonna be able to throw him 10 touchdowns a year, 12 touchdowns a year. He's gonna break the touchdown receiving record in Atlanta. All your red zone issues are gonna be solved. Well, that hasn't happened. Well, that hasn't come close to happening yet. And we are still waiting for that to happen. So, again, hopefully this year Arthur Smith can show us like, see, y'all was talking bad about me on the internet, but y'all see why I got him now. I hope that ends up being the final narrative. But thus far, it's just like, eh, yeah. And then, you take Bijan Robinson at 8. And when you take him at 8, you still got Tyler Algier here. To me, that's still going to be a team that's going to be running the ball a lot. And trust me, I know we said Bijan go line up and play probably the slot son, which I'm sure he will, but we're going to still be running the ball a good deal. I'm just not sure we're going to be able to get the value that we invested into Kyle Pitts with the pick. I'm not sure. Hopefully we will, but thus far, y'all saw that the names we just read off from 5 to 13. Boy, it was a lot of talent. A lot of talent down there. A lot of talent. Yeah, you could have took the safe route and got one of them linemen, Slater or Panay. So I'm hoping it pan out, man. But that's gonna be something to watch. What's gonna be Kyle Pitts' role? Because ultimately you're going to have to find a way to justify this pick. Why this guy's on a rookie contract? Because he's already going to year 3. The following year going to be year 4. Then you're going to start talking about what 5th-year option. Because you think about it, next year is the last year of his rookie contract before you have to start talking about an option. That's just how fast time goes. Next year is the last official year under his contract before you got to start talking about 5th-year option. So, man. Anthony Moss says, we drafted a tight end that does not block, and we are a run-heavy team. And Anthony, it's ironic that you mentioned that because if you go back and watch them games last year, you can see Kyle Pitts' body language. And sometimes in some of those passes that he was throwing, you could just see he was getting visibly frustrated out there. The fish out of water. He was just frustrated. It's almost like his body language was saying, this offense don't fit my skill set. Like, y'all run it 60% of the time. I'm not a blocker. Nowhere on my scouting report does it have a great run blocker, a great downfield blocker. That's not what was on his scouting report, but that's what we had turned him into, a blocker and a decoy. So, man. Dixon Wayne says, I'll trade Pitts for the rights to draft Brock Bowers right now. I think Brock, well, I ain't gonna say I think. We talked about that last time, but Brock Bowers is definitely a better college tight end than Kyle Pitts is. And I love me some Brock, Larry. That's all I was talking. I've been talking about the last 2 years, Brock Bowers. But I would love Brock on this team, but not at 4. Not at 4. We'd have to be drafting somewhere where it made more sense to get him at. But I think Brock Bowers is going to be a phenomenal player. He can block also. No, he can block. Mark says it don't matter who you wanted that year. Trade back and you could have got a start starter. You're right. You absolutely right. Wallace is with that situation we was in with Matt not being able to move on from him and not knowing that we was going to lose Julio, and really in that first year with Pitts to learn from them. Now they knew Julio before the draft. They knew Julio wasn't gonna be here. Because it has since came out that in February, before April's draft, like it was known, like, look, we're gonna have to move Julio. So I'm fairly certain they knew Julio Jones was not gonna be on this team. I'm fairly certain they knew that. In fact, Julio had actually be traded the first time right before Arthur Blank gave him that bonus. So I'm sure the Falcons front office, the executives, Rich McKay, Arthur Blank, I'm sure they knew, like, look, you probably have to go ahead and move Julio. Him, his agent, they are very vigilant in wanting to leave here at this point in time. And even with the Matt Ryan situation, I talked about that earlier. It's like Matt Ryan was at the point in his career where you needed to stop trying to build around Matt Ryan. You needed to start to draft to replace Matt Ryan at that point in time in 2021. Matt Ryan had went 3 consecutive years without having a very good or great year. It was very much evident that the old Matt Ryan was gone and he wasn't coming back. So the Falcons should have known, and that's why I say I'm assuming Fontenot and Arthur Smith, they're great evaluators of talent because of the positions they hold. They should have known from looking at film, like, we can't keep building around Matt Ryan. That time is over. We need to draft to replace Matt Ryan at this point and get these last 1 or 2 years from Matt Ryan to be a on-field, off-field mentor for his successor. So I don't know what they saw and what they thought, but it was evident 2021 that it was pretty much over for Matt. And a lot of Matt Ryan's ills, the offensive line would get blamed for. When in reality, he had a very good career, but as we say, Father Time is undefeated. Father Time was knocking on Matt Ryan during 2019. Hey, Matt, come outside. Matt Ryan, we want to talk to you. 2019, Father Time started knocking it. Hey, Matt Ryan, come on out here, bro. Let's talk. 2020, those knocks got louder. In 2021, it was evident, like, hey, man, Matt Ryan washed. Respectfully, Matt Ryan washed. It's over. And then, you had some of the fan base, well, y'all watch when he go to Indianapolis, man. He gonna finally have offensive line. He gonna have a running back, man. Watch what he do, bro. Fell totally off a cliff. He was washed. He was washed up. The last peak Matt Ryan year was in 2018. Our front office, our fans, we just didn't want to admit it to ourselves. And that's why I say what I said when I first started, Wallace. This is why a lot of times, man, I had to teach myself how to analyze my team and not be a Falcons fan, because that bias would just stand in the way of you admitting the obvious about your team, about the guys you've been watching the last 5, 10, 12 years. Like, it's over. It's over. Like, one day in the NFL, you're very good, and then the very next day you wake up like, I'm just slightly above average. Or in Julio Jones' case, my body just gave out on me. It's over. Julio needed to retire. He done made a shitload of money. He needed to retire. He needed to file retirement papers. From this point forward, Julio Jones just tarnishing his legacy at this point. I know why Matt Ryan ain't officially retired yet. It's a contract thing. Matt Ryan gonna officially retire next year when he get his money. After he gets his money, who is he gonna retire, man? He just need to go and retire. He just need to retire. False Start Falcons says revisionist history going on Trey Lance with the target was the target. And it turns out he probably would have been the wrong pick. I don't think it's revisionist history. I think you obviously like Kyle Pitts a lot, and that's fine. But there were a lot of us before the draft even started. False start, like this is not a good pick for the Falcons. And I don't know if you were like in our Facebook group, but if so, go look at some of them posts. That what we saying now on YouTube, a lot of people were saying before the draft started in 2021, like, why are we drafting a tight end? We need a quarterback. We need a pass rusher. We don't need no tight end. You got Hayden Hurst. You just traded him for a second round pick. What are you taking another one for? Like, don't Arthur Smith like to run the ball, like, you know? So I can't speak for everybody, but I can promise you, false start. A lot of us had these same exact thoughts and opinions before the draft started. Prior to the draft, I guess I should say. Wallace says Infantino stated that he was going to draft BPA and Pitts. Oh, don't get me started on that BPA stuff, man. Wallace, you know how I feel about when anybody mentioned BPA in defense of a draft pick. Boy, do not get me started on that BPA stuff. Please don't start me, Wallace, on that BPA. Please don't start me on that BPA stuff. And Infantino stated he was going to draft BPA, and Pitts was one of the top players in the draft. He definitely had one of the higher draft grades. But like I said last live stream, Wallace, as a college football fan, a Georgia fan, and as me being a Georgia fan, I keep up with Florida too. Kyle Pitts had one big year in college. He had one big year in college. That was the COVID year. And all the teams that he had his biggest games against, they were subpar talent. And that's just what that was. Hey, he here now. We gonna ride for him. But this is all season talk. Like I say, this is the same conversation I would have with anybody if we were just sitting here smoking a cigar, playing the Xbox. I would say the same exact thing to y'all. Like, man, Kyle Pitts got all them touchdowns against bad teams, bro. That was the COVID year. You know what I'm saying? You couldn't travel or none of that and play who you normally would play. But go back and look, man. Hey, man, I know some of y'all ain't gonna like to hear this, but I think he was overhyped. I think Kyle Pitts was overhyped. It was almost like, and I'm not saying a talent-wise, but y'all know how Zach Wilson just came out of nowhere and they just started talking about Zach Wilson and they boosted him up. Kyle was kind of like that. Not to that extent, but he was kind of like that. Nobody talking about Kyle Pitts in 2020. But now 2021, oh yeah, top 5 draft pick. Just being honest, y'all. Just being honest. Just being honest. Just being honest. You have not for that second and 26. That would have been 3 chips in 6 years. Absolutely correct. God dang, Devonta Smith. man. Smitty Sports Machine in the building. How you doing? How you doing today, bro? Y'all, if y'all are not already subscribed, which I'm pretty sure all of you are, make sure to click on Smitty's profile and subscribe to the channel. Also, run the comments up and run the lights up. Also, Archangel says Pitts wasn't used as much because he knew that Mariota was very limitless and was better at running than passing. Let's just keep it a buck. And when he did pass Pitts, he overthrew him so much. Art, I agree with you, Art. I agree with you 2,000%, bro. I promise I agree with you. But that's like my point. when you're in a transition phase as a franchise, you don't need to be drafted positions where you're going to be wasting time. When I say wasting time, wasting rookie contract years. So if you knew you was going to have to transition from one old quarterback and try to find the next franchise quarterback, you know, especially if you weren't going to draft one early, you know, you're kind of wasting rookie contract years. Just like I mentioned, we're going to year 3 this year. After this year, you got one more rookie year contract with Kyle Pitts. And of course, I'm sure Atlanta's going to do the 5th-year option. But before we know it, it's going to be trying to shake and bake and give Kyle Pitts an extension. So, in situations like this, man, that's why a lot of times you'll see a team take what they deem a safe pick. They'll take the left tackle. They'll take the right tackle. That's the safe pick. You know? I ain't wasting no time with him. Oh, I'm going to go ahead and get my quarterback now. Carolina Panthers, they went ahead and they sold the farm. I'm getting my quarterback now. So it's, man, I don't know. Wallace is tired, but we haven't seen what the offense is going to look like this year yet because Arthur Smith offense have been different from 1 year to 2. And we have to wait and see on year 3. I agree with you, Wallace. I agree. And that's why I mentioned, you know, it could be this time next year, Arthur Smith could make us all eat crow with this narrative that we're paying right now. But it has to be done this year. There is no more excuses. There is absolutely no more excuses. You know, if the Kyle Pitts situation isn't that much better in 2023, I'm telling y'all now, I can't nobody tell me nothing about the quarterback. Even if Desmond Ridder doesn't pan out, I won't even accept the quarterback excuse because that's why you don't take this kind of risk in the draft, knowing you already don't got a quarterback in place. Now, if Jacksonville, check this out, Wallace. If the Jacksonville Jaguars, if they somehow, because I think they're gonna be pretty good, but if they somehow trade up to go get Brock Bowers, that makes sense for Jacksonville. The system is in place, the coach is in place, your quarterback is in place. You already got a quarterback that you know can get him the ball, a system that will work for him. You got a rejuvenated Calvin Ridley. I think Ridley gonna have a pretty good year this year. Jacksonville makes sense. Everything is already there. You ain't got to wait for to hopefully find a quarterback. Buffalo, okay, that makes sense. They go trade up to get Brock Bowers. Everything is already there. Buffalo, you ain't got to wait on that. I ain't got to talk about Kansas City. They can make that shit work with them. But that's what I'm saying. Is like there ain't no more excuses for the Falcons. If they can't make this work with that 4 pick, Arthur Smith gonna be under the gun because this was y'all first pick of y'all regime. When most people thought you should have went ahead and got your quarterback so you could sit him down a year and watch and learn. Foster said, "I'm sorry, but picking a quarterback when the rest of your team is trash is the faster way to get fired. They wanted to give themselves proper time. Arthur Blank was aware and down. That's your viewpoint. That's your viewpoint. And I'm saying that they had to draft a quarterback, but drafting a tight end when you don't have a quarterback in place, as I just explained about 30 seconds ago." And Foster, like I've been saying, bro, like sometimes you have to get out of being such a Falcons fan when you analyze this team. Sometimes you got to stop making excuses for them. You know, sometimes you got to be critical of them, and it's okay. It don't make you no less of a Falcons fan. And I keep saying this: if we were sitting here playing, man, if we was at the gym or we were shooting ball or if we were playing pool, I would have the same kind of conversation about the team. I've learned, like I said, I've taught myself like you can't always make excuses for failures. Now, if the Bulldogs happen to lose this year, okay, I give them some excuses. Yeah, they national championship back to back. They've earned that. The Braves don't bring home the World Series. Okay, that's cool. I give them some excuses. But the Falcons, I know, get it together, Atlanta. They got to get it together. So when the Falcons continually make questionable decisions after questionable decisions, it's okay to be critical of them. It's okay to be critical of them. I be critical of the way Arthur Blank handled contract negotiations in the media. What owner want to tell a player during the middle of a contract negotiation, well, you're a Falcon for life? You done just took all your leverage away. Now that player's agent sitting there doing the Birdman rub. Julio Jones agent sitting there, boy, I'm Birdman and rubbing, woo, woo. Matt Ryan agent, Birdman, hand rub, Falcon for life, huh? Okay, so we got all the leverage we need to get you off. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Mr. Billionaire. We appreciate it. And both of those contracts came back to bite us in the ass. Because Dimitrov said he was told by ownership, write Matt Ryan and Julio's contract up to make sure that they retire in Atlanta. Hence, all this guaranteed money that it was hard to get from under. That's what really crumbled the team financially. The ownership. That period of time. But, it's Arthur Blank. A lot of people don't like to criticize him and talk about owners. But I will. I'm going to keep it real. That's what hurt us. So, and Arthur Blank even came back and said last year, you know what? Me saying Falcons for life probably wasn't a good idea. Because it's football, you never know. Did Julio Jones retire as a Falcon? No. Did Matt Ryan retire as a Falcon? No. But you instructed your general manager to give them contracts to ensure they retire as a Falcon. So it be stuff like that. And after room for this team for so many decades, man, when I just see like bad decision after bad decision, like I'm gonna say like, look, man, stop doing that. That's not smart. If they come out and draft a wide receiver in the 2024 draft in the first round, I'm gonna be like, man, like why do y'all keep drafting skill positions in the first round? And then by December, we all complaining about the defense sucks. Well, duh, you giving all the quality draft picks to the offense. You're giving all the foundations. The foundation where you build a staple of your team to the offense. So, of course, the defense is going to suffer. So that's just where I'm at with the team, man. Like, I love them to death, but I'm not going to keep just turning a side eye. Just don't act like I don't see them making bad choices. I just can't do it. I just can't do it. Don said, I agree, Todd. I'm going to talk shit until you prove he was hey, Don, ain't nothing wrong with that, man. There is nothing wrong with that. Us Georgia Bulldog fans, we was on the Bulldogs' heads until they started winning. We was on their heads. Like, man, y'all got to stop getting all the way to the championship game and choking. Finish the drill. Finish the drill. And I'm telling y'all, as Falcons fans, we're kind of passive compared to other markets. Don't say that bad about the Falcons. You a fake fan. Fake fan. Who would choose the Falcons to be a fake fan? What kind of props do you get out of that? What kind of props do you get out of being a fake fan? Foster said, time to drop the link. I'm ready to bang. Foster said he ready to bang. My bad, Foster, man. I've been rambling. In fact, bro, I actually got to get off here now myself. But we'll come back and we'll just do us a good bang debate session probably sometime early next week, maybe like Tuesday or Wednesday, and I'll just drop the link, and we'll keep it going for now. Mark's trying to drop the link. We ready to bang. My bad, y'all. My bad. I was just here running my mouth. This is one of them times I just went on a rant. But I'm gonna have to get out here. But like Mark, false start. We'll come back and we'll do this again. Sometime next week. I hit both of y'all up. I'll hit you up in the. I'll shoot you a message, Mark, and then I'll hit you up in the comment. False start, and we'll continue this conversation. We'll definitely continue this conversation because I wasn't supposed to even be here this long. It's almost 5:30, and I got somewhere I actually got to get here probably in another hour or so. So, let me go ahead and wrap everything up. False start says the Jets draft the quarterback the same draft we took Pitts, and now they had the Morris to farm to go get another. I think he said another quarterback because they're about to get fired. Asian quarterback. Okay, I see it right there. Yeah, and I think they might have gave up a little too quick on Zach Wilson, but I can also understand why they did as well. But like I say, Zach Wilson was one of them players that just got boosted up out of nowhere too, so he probably was overhyped as well. But man, I appreciate all y'all time, man. Thank you for the interaction. I enjoy it always, man. I just enjoy like everybody's different perspective on the team. Whether we agree or disagree with some of the things the team does, I think all of us agree and hope that this team gets it together and bring us a Super Bowl while we're still young enough to enjoy it, man. I want to go to the parade and smoke my cigars and buy false start a drink, buy Wallace a drink, and just rejoice with y'all, man. But I'm gonna get out of here, man. Wallace is great content. Appreciate it, Wallace. As always, man. I'll see y'all the next time I see y'all. Peace and stay hydrated out there, man. It's been a hot summer.